We're going to pretend now that I've just made a big mistake in my work, or not just made a big mistake in my work, I just noticed that I made a mistake in my work several rows back. Now, one thing that I could do is just rip out my needles and start ripping back, and then have a bunch of live stitches that I have to pick up, which could be a disaster and a long time to fix. This is a way of safely ripping out your work and having all the stitches safe and caught. So what you need is a piece of scrap yarn and a tapestry needle. We're going to thread that onto there. And here's my little work. We're going to pretend that I've made a mistake, right here. And so I want to rip it out to the row below, of course. So what you're going to do is you're going to go across the work with your contrasting color yarn and tapestry needle and pick up the right leg of every V that you come to. And you want to make sure that you don't skip any, and you want to make sure that you work straight across and you don't jump up and down the columns or anything. So you can see here just the right leg all the way across. And since this isn't very difficult, I will go ahead and work all the way across this row. Okay. So you see here, I've got this contrasting thread all the way through the right leg of each stitch. I can take out my needle without being afraid that I'm going to ruin everything and rip the work out. And when I get to that lifeline, you can see that all my stitches are held safely on that piece of scrap yarn. Ta-da! Nothing scary. I can just pick those up with a needle. Usually what I'll do is I'll pick up I'll grab a needle in a smaller size, which makes it easier to pick them up. And then once I get those stitches on the other needle, I can pull out the piece of scrap yarn and all my stitches are safe and ready to go, and the mistake is gone. And that is how to work a lifeline.